This is the L2C Media Network on YouTube, and this is the L2C Sports Final, brought to you by the L2C Media Network. And now, here's Steve with the day in sports. Hey everybody, welcome one and all to the Corsican Ball. This is the L2C Sports Final. I am Steve Bexley, and it is very nice to be back speaking again. Okay. Let's we'll get you some of the news headlines in a moment. Forgetting to somewhere around here. I now do 24 hours. There we go. All right, let's rock it and roll it from the Delta to the DMZ as we bring you the latest in everything and anything that is sports related. It's all working. Thank gosh for a small miracle. Yay! Yay. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're good. Finally. Okay, sorry about the technical issues. Obviously, well, I'm going to tell you this: the blue snowball microphone definitely works. It's a tough son of a gun, I'll guarantee you that, but it definitely works. Okay, let's get to it. Let's see if we can't, at least for this portion. Hey. Like I said, we're going to try to find some egg crates to give us the ambient of soundless, that it doesn't pick up the background, in other words. But we are going to try. Thank you, boys. Let's give you some sports while we're here. Hello. Okay, what's the matter now? There we go. Okay, let's give you some sports right now, and that's what we're here for. We're here to give you sports. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do is scream bloody hell. There we go. Okay, come on. I only need two things to light up here. Come on. Let's just keep going like this. Now what? Thank you. All right, let's do this the proper way, Mommy. No. The 2020 Major League Baseball season is 12 days away, and already the Toronto Blue Jays, they still don't know where they'll play their home games. Club approval to hold summer camp at Rogers Center, but regular season games remain up in the air because there's so much travel involved. Canada has a 14-day mandatory quarantine for everyone traveling into the country amid the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the Buffalo News' Mike Harrington, the Blue Jays only recently reached out to officials with their AAA affiliate in Buffalo, New York, about the possibility of playing regular season games at their ballpark. The Blue Jays have been planning to use Buffalo as their alternate training site during the season. Blue Jay players are isolated at the Marriott Hotel connected to Rogers Center during summer camp, and they face severe punishment if they leave the bubble. The NHL is using Toronto as one of its hub cities, but players, and this is very important, will not be traveling in and out. They will stay in the city as long as required. Major League Baseball players, on the other hand, would come and go as they please. Now, Salin Field in Buffalo is a fine facility, but not up to Major League Baseball caliber. Harrington notes the lighting is subpar, and the team facilities, from the clubhouses all the way to the training area, are cramped. The club would have also had To set up housing and visiting teams would need to lock in hotels and travel arrangements on a relatively short notice. Now, through this process, the Blue Jays have considered their spring training complex in Dunedin, Florida as their plan B for regular season games, but hosting regular season games there is becoming less plausible with COVID-19 cases skyrocketing in the state. The club had an outbreak at the facility recently. Blue Jays open the regular season with a 6-game road trip. Their home opener is scheduled for July 29th, so they have a little more than 2 weeks to get their home stadium situation resolved and get the facility game ready. Of course, I make one lovable suggestion, and that is Lansing. Sound is back. Yay! Finally, the sound is back. Oh, this is going to be joyful. They're back. The sound is back. Yes, the sound is back, and we were doing a special edition of our special Sunday edition of the Last Call Cafe on Spreaker, and our earlier attempt was wrought with a little technical problem. This one, I'm sort of having to had fixed, so we're going to be on till about 1:30. To make things little kosher, as I like. And I'm sorry for the silence here. I'm trying to give with the boop boop. Okay. I'm telling you, somewhere out there in the deep blue sea, there is a fish that has my name on it. I wish I knew what it was. It was a joker fish. I have no idea. But we're back in line. We're going to try to give you all the sports news in time, and then it's going to be a long day, long morning for yours truly. So, here we go. Get ready. Get ready for some nice hard times. Put some big curtains here. A little funny wall. Maybe I can do it. Okay. Let us. Boy, everything. Okay, everything is good. Yay. Let's get you going here with a good thing here. CBS, the news of sport. That's right. We have some breaking news, or a little late breaking developing story, if you recall, as we get to it. By the way, the Red Stars beat the Royals for the first win in the Challenge Cup with the NWSL. We'll give you all the scores as we can here on this broadcast. The thorough review into Washington team's nickname that began on July 3rd is concluded, and the franchise intends to announce on Monday, according to Sports Business Journal's Ben Fisher, that it will officially retire the Redskins name. The franchise has been called the Redskins since 1933, before it moved from Boston to Washington in 1937. Mike Jones of the USA Today reports that while it is not known at this time what Washington will choose as its new nickname, the franchise will reveal a new name on Monday morning. Fisher reports, however, that Washington will not share any of that information on Monday because of pending trademark issues that are preventing that from occurring in a timely fashion. Washington is planning to scrap all Native American imagery, but would like to retain its original colors of burgundy and gold, Adam Schefter of ESPN reported earlier this week. Now, the franchise's moniker has been a controversial topic for years, with Native Americans petitioning the team to change it on multiple occasions. Washington owner Daniel Snyder has long been resistant to change, telling USA Today in 20 that he would never change the name. It's that simple. Never. You can use caps. However, after stadium naming rights sponsor FedEx, among other sponsors, said that threatened less than 2 weeks ago that would end its partnership with Washington, the team clearly began to feel real pressure for change, perhaps for the first time. On Saturday night, John Keim of ESPN reported that Washington was close to having a new name sooner rather than later, adding that Snyder apparently said he had started talking to the NFL about this decision 3 weeks ago. Of course, 3 weeks ago, Nike, FedEx, and another sponsor didn't threaten to pull out. It was maybe 2 weeks. Warriors, a name Snyder was reportedly interested in using for an Arena League football franchise, is believed to be among the top candidates. Recently, Jared Dubin of CBS Sports created a list of possible name options for Washington. Quarterback Dwayne Haskins is in support of Red Tails, a name that has an intriguing history as it pays tribute to planes flown by the Tuskegee Airmen, who were the first black military aviators who served in the United States Army during World War II. 3 of the first 5 admitted airmen were from Washington, serving as a connection to the city and the armed forces. It'll be a tall task to replace all logos, merchandise, and design new uniforms before the beginning of the 2020 season. If Washington indeed does plan on changing its name immediately over the past week, several companies have ceased selling Washington merchandise as the pressure to change the team's name reached new heights. Monday, a new beginning, we hope, for the Washington franchise. This day will come. So there you go. Nice way to starve up the week with a hopeful sign of beginnings. Okay, let's keep going on this. Come on. What? No. I'm doing my show. Thank you. Okay, let's keep going because we're going about 1:30, and then it's a little bon marchand, if you will. It's my own words. So here we go. Go. Chicago Red Stars picked up their first win of the 2020 NWSL Challenge Cup on Sunday night. Casey Short's late goal gave the Red Stars, thank you, a 1-0 victory over the Utah Royals as both teams closed out their preliminary round schedules in the 8-team tournament. Short headed home a goal in the 85th minute to give her side the victory. It was Chicago's first win in 4 games, and the Red Stars finished group play with 4 points. Goalkeeper Alyssa Nair didn't let any of Utah's 3 shots on goal pass her as Chicago notched its second shutout of the tournament. The Red Stars allowed only 1 goal over their final 3 games, and that came against first-place North Carolina Courage. The Royals were held scoreless for their second consecutive game, and they'll head into next weekend's quarterfinals off of back-to-back losses. Utah did see the return of 31-year-old star Kelly O'Hara, who played the final 20 minutes in her first game of the Challenge Cup. It was her first action since last August when she was sidelined with an ankle injury. All 8 teams in the Challenge Cup will move on to the quarterfinals, which kick off Friday. Every game from the 2020 NWSL Challenge Cup you can see on CBS All Access. Now, do we have? Let's get the scores. Yeah, let's get the scores. And let's get over here if we may. On Sunday, Washington Spirit over Houston Dash 1-0. Of course, the Chicago Red Stars beat the Utah Royals 1-0. Now on Monday, the OL Reign take on the Portland Thorns at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. And the Sky Blue take on North Carolina at the 10 p.m. Want to remind you that quarterfinal action begins on Friday, July 17th at 12:30. And they will end Saturday, July 18th at 10 p.m. Quarterfinal 2 will be at 10 p.m. Then Saturday, July 18th, Quarterfinal 3 at 12:30, quarterfinal 4 at 10. Then the semifinals 1 and 2 will be on Wednesday, July 22nd at 12:30 and 10 p.m. And on Sunday, July 26th, the final at 12:30 p.m. All the semifinal action and quarterfinal action, as well as the final 2 games of this cup, will be streamed on CBS All Access. The finals will be on both CBS and CBS All Access. There you go, right there, in a nutshell. Okay, let's get you to NASCAR. Then we'll get you to the scoreboard, and we'll beat a hasty, if not noxious, retreat. By the way, Rajon Rondo of the Los Angeles Lakers is out 6 to 8 weeks with a broken thumb. And how's this for a shock and a stunner? No, not the Blue Jays report. We've already done that. Let's get to NASCAR, and then we'll go to the scoreboard, and then we'll seek the finale. Okay, well, NASCAR once again gave us something to cheer about today, and that was, of course, a rookie in Kentucky, NASCAR Cup Series at Kentucky. A rookie, Cole Custer, picked up his first career win in a wild finish. Cole Custer won the 2020 NASCAR Cup Series Quicker State 400 in a very mad dash on the last lap to become the first rookie winner in nearly 4 years. The 22-year-old took the lead on the final lap to earn his first NASCAR Cup Series win in his 20th career start after a late restart at Kentucky Speedway. With the victory, Custer will have a spot in the All-Star race on Wednesday from Bristol. Custer told Fox Sports 1 after the race, "We were so good all day. Our car was so good. That was the best car I've ever driven in my life. That was unbelievable." Martin Truex Jr. finished second in Sunday's race. Matt DiBenedetto took third, and Kevin Harvick came in fourth. Custer got a push from DiBenedetto on the outside down the backstretch, surging past Truex and Harvick, who were battling for lead on the final restart. The move made Custer the first rookie Cup Series winner since Chris Buescher took the check flag at Pocono on August 1st, 2016. After Jimmy Johnson became the first NASCAR Cup Series driver to test positive for COVID-19, he was cleared to return to race at Kentucky, a racetrack that he's never won at. Johnson finished 18th on Sunday, extending his Cup Series winless streak to 110 starts over 11 Cup Series races. His last win was at Dover in June 2017. The Cup Series heads to Texas for the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 on Sunday, July 19th. But before that, the Cup Series will host its All-Star festivities this year in Bristol on Wednesday, July 15th. And that will be on Fox Sports 1, while the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 on Sunday, July 19th, will be the first one in the second half of the season, which is on NBC and NBCSN. The O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 will be on NBCSN. So there you go. NASCAR. You gotta love them. Okay, 12:55 right now as we enter the 1 o'clock hour. I want to remind you, you can usually find us Saturday and Sundays at 11:45 Friday, Saturday and Sundays. Friday and Saturdays, 11:45 p.m. to 12:45, 12:30, 12:45. Regular time on Sundays, Sunday through Thursday, will be 11:10 p.m. Eastern. And that'll be also for either 45 or 50 minuets. There you go, right there. Hey. Perfect. Yeah, I love root beer. I know I do. All right, let's keep going on this mildly wild bit of insanity. And I'm glad to tell you it's great to be on air. Okay. The Chicago White Sox coach is concerned about Kopech after his right-hander Michael Kopech became the latest MLB player topped out of a shortened 2020 season. Kopech did not give a reason for his decision, though. Concerns about the COVID-19 pandemic need no explanation. Plus, he is coming back from Tommy John surgery. He may not want to put his recently repaired arm at risk during a short season. Kopech turned only 24 in April, and he was away from the team in early summer camp for personal reasons. He has been open about his battle with anxiety and depression in the past, most notably deleting his social media accounts late last year and telling Paul Sullivan of the Chicago Tribune he was, quote, laying down my weapons and embracing all my fears. Kopech is not a high-risk individual, so he will not collect salary or service time after opting out, and Hahn confirmed he is healthy. In fact, Kopech pitched in a Cactus League game in March and reportedly hit 100 miles per hour several times. Cooper said he's heard nothing to suggest Kopech has a new injury or has had trouble ramping up his throwing in recent weeks. The decision to opt out is a personal one, and frankly, Kopech owes no one an explanation. His health, both mental and physical, is his business. If he chooses to explain his decision, so be it. Neither COVID-19 nor anxiety and depression should be stigmatized. If he decides to keep it to himself, blessings. Concerned about Kopech the same way anyone would be concerned about a friend during these adverse times. If there's more to his opt-out than the pandemic and the health of his new elbow ligament, then hopefully he'll have access to any help he needs and come out better for it on the other side. Kopech joins White Sox in the Chris Sale trade in 2016 and was one of the top pitching prospects in baseball before making his MLB debut in August 2018. He allowed 8 runs in 14 and 1/3 innings before blowing out his elbow. Okay, let us... Ooh, that's a stinker. Phew. Let us now go to... Not that story, folks. We have a little stench problem here. I don't know what it is. But I'm going to turn the fan on if we can. There you go. If you hear the fan, my apologies to you all.
Check these.
These are good. What? Okay. My mom, the owner of this lovely facility. Okay, so I'll eat them. Well, I'm doing my thing. Anyway, let us get you to the scoreboard quickly and concisely. And we promise you the way we got this set up from now on, we just want you to know that it's going to be kept like this. So you're going to hear us. We're going to put little faux wall up here with some egg cartons so it can drown out background noises. A little door. We're still trying to find someone who wouldn't mind not destroying one of those old hearing hearing test booths. I mean, that would be real great. You know, we can do it from there and have a little green screen and everything would be fun. So if anyone knows of anyone, help us out. Thank you. Okay. Let's get to the scoreboard before everything else goes entirely wrong. And before everything goes entirely right, as the old saying goes. Salud. Okay, getting the scoreboard up in a boot. We'll give you all the news and information we can. We'll get you more headlines and everything else. And then it's going to be a little sleep time for me because I have a feeling I'm not going to be getting any sleep tomorrow. I'm so going to be pooped out. All right. Let's kick it off. Bogota here. Yes, okay, thank you. All right, let's get you ready for and let's go where everybody knows your name, and that is, of course, the Premier League. Let's get to the final scores. Wolves 3, Everton nothing, Aston Villa 2, Crystal Palace nothing, Tottenham 2, Arsenal 1, and Bournemouth 4, Leicester 1. In Italia, Serie A action, it was Genoa 2, Spal nothing, Cagliari and Lecce tied at 0, Fiorentina and Verona tied at 1, Parma and Bologna tied at 2, Sampdoria over Udinese 3-1, and Napoli and AC Milan tied at 2. In the La Liga in Espanyol, otherwise known as Spain, Eibar 2, Espanyol 0. Athletic Bilbao 2, Levante 1, Leganés over Valencia 1-0, Sevilla over Mallorca 2-0. In the Czech Republic European League playoffs, Liberec over Mlada Boleslav 2-0. In the Superliga in Denmark, the championship group, FC Copenhagen and Brøndby, Goose Egg tie. Nordsjælland and Alasborg, Goose Egg tie. Aarhus over Midtjylland 3-0. In the Ekstraklasa Poland championship group, it was Pogoń Szczecin and Slask Warklaw 2-2. Lech Poznań over Lechia Gdansk 3-2. Plas Gilwick 2, Jagiellonia 0. In the K-League in South Korea, Ulsan Hyundai over Daegu 3-1. And Gangwon over Gwangju 4-1. In the club friendly, because there is a club friendly, Petershagen lost to Blau-Weiss Berlin 5-2. They had a couple of games canceled, so we won't report on those, but we'll report on the games that have finished. Rather over Cray 2-1, Belveri and Admira Prague 2-2, and Paris Saint-Germain mollywopped Le Havre 9-0. In baseball, in the Japan NPB, Nippon Professional Baseball, Oric Buffaloes defeated the Nippon Ham Fighters 2-1, 2-8-0 for Buffaloes, 1-4-0 Ham Fighters. Yamamoto for the Buffaloes gets the win. He's 3-0. Kawano for the Ham Fighters gets a loss. He's 0-2. Cebu Lions over the Chiba Lotte Marins 8-5, 8-11-0 for the Lions, 5-11-1 for the Marins. Flores gets the loss for the Marins. He's 0-1, and Hira for the Lions gets his second win in a row. Hiroshima Carp over the Chunichi Dragons 7-2, 7-12-2 for the Carp, 2-9-0 for the Dragons. Umetsu for the Dragons gets a loss. He split it, 2 wins, 2 losses. Endo for the Carp gets a victory. He is split at 1-1. The Fukuoka Silverhawks over the Rakuten Golden Eagles 6-1, 6-10-0 Hawks, 1-4-0 Eagles. Ishikawa for the Hawks goes for a second and gets it, second win in a row. Meanwhile, Ishibashi gets his a bad loss. He's 1-3. Hanshin Tigers over the Yokohama Bay Stars 2-1, 2-8-1 for the Tigers, 1-4-0 for the Bay Stars. Iwajda for the Tigers gets the win. He's 2-1. Taira gets the loss. He's 2-1. Yakult Swallows beat the Omori Giants 3-2, 3-6-0 for the Swallows, 2-7-0 for the Giants. Sakurai, gets the loss. For the Giants, he split it 1-1. And Takanashi gets the win. He's 1-1 as well. The Extraliga in the Czech Republic went this game went the full 9 innings. And Ostrava over Tempo Prague 12-2, 12-14-1 for Ostrava, 2-6-2 for Tempo. Hiroshi Bruno blanked the Blansko 10-love, 10-0 in 7, 10-10-0 for Hiroshi, and 0-2-0 for Blansko. Draki Bruno over Technica Bruno, 5-0, 5-5-2 for Draki, and 0-3-2 for Technica. And Trebek over the Sabat Prague, 5-1, 5-12-0 for Trebek, and 1-4-1 for Sabat Prague. In the CPBL in Taiwan, the first stage, Wrecking the Monkeys, you never know where they'll be found, defeated China Trust Brothers 4-3, 4-7-0 for the Monkeys, 3-8-0 for the Brothers. And that is a look. If you want more scores, go to scoreboard.com/English for every other score that time did not allow us to mention. Okay, we are at 8 minutes past 1 o'clock, and right now we're going to check out the headlines from our favorite of all favorites, Ladies and Gems, or Ladies and Germs, depending on whom you is. Let's get a little publicity disaster that it has nipped in the bud. ESPN has suspended its god of the National Basketball Association, Adrian Wojnarowski. He was suspended for a profane email reply to Senator Josh Hawley. He was definitely going to be penalized for his response to Missouri Senator Josh Hawley, which politician publicized on Twitter Friday, late Saturday night, as first reported by Outkick's Ryan Glass-Steagall. Suspended its NBA insider for an unannounced length of time. According to Washington Post Ben Strauss, Wojnarowski is likely to be suspended for 1 to 2 weeks. Andrew Marchand, New York Post, reported Sunday night that Wojnarowski will be suspended for 2 weeks. When exactly the suspension begins isn't clear, but Marchand said Woj is expected to be back by July 15th. That likely means the suspension began yesterday, July 11th. Woj also won't be allowed to tweet any news during that time. But his suspension seemed extremely likely after his profane reply to a press release from Hawley's office, publicizing a letter that the senator sent to the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver regarding the league allowing players to wear social justice messages on their jersey. Had Wojnarowski replied less provocatively or profanely, or not responded at all, Hawley almost certainly wouldn't have mentioned it on social media, but he responded to Hawley's press release with an email that said a certain word that is physically impossible for men. Following Hawley's making Wojnarowski's email public, ESPN issued a statement rebuking his behavior. Soon thereafter, Wojnarowski issued an apology for his remarks to his network colleagues and said he would contact the senator to apologize directly. Indeed, humbling. The gentleman is now eating a buttload of humble pie. If you're ready for this. Formula One broadcast quickly cut away from a disjointed driver kneeling moment, prompting a ton of criticism. Let's tell you about that, kids, if we can. Before Formula One kicked off its season last week at Austria's Red Bull Ring, defending wore an End Racism t-shirt, while Hamilton wore a shirt that read Black Lives Matter on the front and End Racism on the back. The plan, it would seem, was for every driver to take a knee and join Hamilton, Formula One's only black driver, in solidarity. However, that's not what exactly happened, as 6 of the drivers decided to remain standing. Afterwards, some of those drivers took to social media to explain why they did not join Hamilton and others in kneeling. One of those... You couldn't tell me after the show? Thank you, anyways. Charles Leclerc said, I believe that what matters are facts and behaviors in our daily life rather than formal gestures that could be seen as controversial in some countries. I will not take the knee, but this does not mean at all that I am less committed than others in the fight against racism. Max Verstappen said, I'm very committed to equality and the fight against racism, but I believe everyone has a right to express themselves at a time and in a way that suits them. I will not take the knee today, but respect and support the personal choices every driver makes. Another driver who stood later explained that he did not kneel for religious reasons. Russian driver Daniel Kvyat was another of the drivers who did not take the knee, and he explained, quote, I am really against racism, and we as a group of drivers decided that a very strong message would be wearing the T-shirts stating end racism. I think that kind of message was very strong and it got delivered to everyone. Unfortunately, the gesture of on the knees against my mentality of my country, where you only go on the knees in front of God, your flag, and that's about it. Well, given the power that Formula One has as one of the world's most watched sports, and the sway these drivers have, the lack of a united front, and the explanations given by drivers who did not need and provide the racing organization with the unified vision it might have been hoping for. That's especially glaring when compared to the actions taken by players and drivers in other sports, including NASCAR. Wow. You had to mention that all eyes would be on this weekend's race, the Australian Grand Prix in Austria. Once again, the drivers gathered before the race in end racism shirts, and once again, most knelt, while 4 of the 16 remained standing, perhaps stung by the negative response to those standing and the lack of unity from the previous race. F1's cameras quickly cut away to a skydiver, prompting many viewers to call out what appeared to their attempt at quieting the controversy. Yes. Sky Sports F1 host Simon Lazenby took a strong stance during the moment regarding the lack of a unified front by drivers, saying those actions are sending a mixed message. Quote, Lewis Hamilton leading the conversation on this and taking a knee again. He said he had no problem with any of the drivers and team members who decided against taking a knee, but he did stress he doesn't want to see this campaign for change die a silent death, and the sport can do more. It's a shame that they've gone off those pictures after people questioning the apparent lack of unity last week, with some kneeling and some not. You've got to ask the question, would it have been in the best interest in the image of this sport to get it together this week? That's not judgment. It's for you to decide at home. The images still don't seem to fit the message in this, the most global of sports. If NASCAR, football, and cricket can get it right, why can't Formula One? That's the question. From where I'm standing here, we have seen some taking a knee and some not. It's just a mixed message. While the TV crew might have been able to divert attention away from the messages, good or bad, sent by drivers before the race, Lewis Hamilton made it impossible to be ignored afterward by winning the race comfortably. Hamilton stepped to the winner's podium, bowed his head, and raised his fist in the air to represent the Black Lives Matter movement he had been championing. Whether the cutaway was purposeful or due to the pre-planned nature of the skydive is likely irrelevant to the larger issue that Formula One has to deal with right now, which is the perception that its drivers are not all on the same page when it comes to the end racism campaign. Given that Lewis Hamilton is the face of F1, that message isn't going to go away, neither is he. How they handle things moving forward and how they project that message or dance around it is what everyone is going to be paying attention to. Expect the pre-race kneel before next week's Hungarian Grand Prix in Budapest to be as eagerly anticipated as the race itself. We couldn't agree more. Mm-hmm. All right, let's keep it going here. Well, Charter Communications is raising its broadcast TV fee to $16.45 a month, almost double the $8.85 it was in October 2018. While many carriage disputes are over cable channels, there have been also quite a few over local broadcast network affiliates in the past few years. Those affiliates are available over the air to people who have a digital antenna, but many of their viewers watch them via their inclusion in cable, satellite, or streaming TV packages, and they do charge pay TV providers a per subscriber fee similar to what cable networks do for those retransmission costs. Many of the fees to the providers have increased over the last few years, and that time span has also seen many of the providers charging their subscribers more in broadcast TV fees, citing increased costs from providers. A particular notable example came from Charter Spectrum, which is yet again raising that fee. They have a broadcast TV fee of $8.85 per subscriber per month as recently as October 2018. Well, they boosted it to $9.95 that November, then to $11.99 in March 2019, and went up to $13.95 in October 2019. And now Philip Dampler writes it stopped the cap. That Charter is set to boost it to $16.45 a month beginning in August, impacting both cable and streaming TV subscribers. Ooh. And they are not the only provider charging these fees, and they're not the only ones to raise recently. In November 2019, Comcast boosted their broadcast TV fee from $10 a month to $14.95 a month. So their fee was above Charter's for this year to date so far, but Charter's broadcast fee is now higher again. It's worth mentioning that this fee often hasn't been included in the per-month TV prices they advertise. Now, that doesn't mean Charter's TV package is necessarily more expensive than their competitors either. That all depends on what package you have and what promotional deals you get. It's also notable that Charter doesn't charge a separate regional sports programming fee. Unlike some competitors, it's worth examining what the fees are going to be on any pay TV package before you sign up for it, but certainly interesting to see Charter boosting this broadcast TV fee yet again and boosting it to almost twice what it was less than 2 years ago. All right, thank you, Awful Announcing. Now let's give you one more. Let's take you to a quick birth. That's right, we're giving you a quick birth because we got a little golf for you. And, well, you're going to love this. Yes, you will. And why are you going to love this? Simple. Because it was a tough fight, a tough battle, and it's not over yet. Well, maybe it is. But here we go. The Colin Morikawa Justin Thomas duel on Sunday provided the most exciting finish of a PGA Tour event in the restart to this point. Did you enjoy the show? Well, Colin Morikawa had more peaks and valleys than the NASDAQ since the coronavirus began. They were joined by Victor Hovland for the first 18 holes, but he exited stage left. Oh my, you tried. When the playoff began before Morikawa round 4, despite trailing by 3 strokes going in by hitting consecutive approaches from 202 and 234 yards to a combined 52 inches on the 4th and 5th holes. He played his first 5 holes in 4 under, while JT, we all know who that is, Justin Thomas, stalled out and skidded down the front 9. Things flipped on the par 3 8th, where Thomas made birdie and then 4 more in his next 6 holes, and came to the 15th for Thomas, club twirling, leg kicking 15th, where he hit a 23-footer for eagle. His 10th straight one putt to go up 3 on Morikawa at the end, right? Sure felt like it. But Thomas would bogey 2 of the final 3, and Morikawa played them in 1 under to take him to extra time. It got silly from there after bad drives and mediocre approaches at the 18th, the first playoff hole. Justin Thomas hit a dizzying 50-footer for birdie to presumably win, or that's how it felt. Again, of course, Morikawa narrowly sneaked in 1-footer on 18 to get in the playoff, bagged a 23-footer to go to the second playoff hole. Thomas and Morikawa have the second playoff hole, and then Morikawa took his second PGA Tour win with a par on the third playoff hole after Thomas drove it behind a tree and couldn't escape jail from there. It was a lousy way for the event of the year to end, but Morikawa surely doesn't mind. The victory moves him up to number 13 in the world, which is apropos given the kind of golf he's played of late. This was one of Morikawa's second playoffs since the PGA Tour restarted a month our little here. We're only going to have time to say hello to everyone in on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and on Twitch. That is going to do it for us, and we want to thank you all for watching. I'm sure this will be a very good one. Thank you for joining us. We will see you Monday night at 11:10 p.m. Eastern for another crazily wild edition of the L2C Sports Final. Until then, for everyone here at L2C Sports and the Very Sports Final, I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley, hoping that your teams always be winners in any sport, in all the sports that you enjoy watching and or cheering for. And America, good night, whomever and wherever you are. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. I'm Steve Baxley. Good night from the Fred McLeod Sports Desk at the Tom O'Neill Studios here in Jackson, Michigan. Good night, everybody.